Drills and workouts. We're going to move quick. Quick stick. This is one I like to use with my 4x1s. We do it 3 to 4 times before every relay practice, and we do it 3 to 4 times before every race. The whole idea is to move the baton from the beginning to the end as fast as possible. You notice they're working on good hand presentation as well. This still is perfect for that. You can see the thumb is down, the hand is up, the hand is in their face. So this is a good way for us to practice those handoffs and move it quickly and efficiently through the zones and grasping that baton quickly when it's pushed into our hand. So again, it teaches them to make sure that they're pushing through the hand. So the one thing I would say is maybe Elena, the last one, could be a little bit further back so that Claire can push that baton through her hand a little better. Otherwise, love this drill. We do a 4x60 meter relay. This is a great one that if you have kids doing max velocity work, um, like you're doing 60-meter sprints, 80-meter sprints with your sprinters, but you want to work some relay handoffs in. This is a perfect one to mark out on the track. I use just tape for start lines, or I'll use cones to mark each of the zones. Basically, 40 meters for the start. The first exchange zone is as marked. And then from there, you just measure 40 meters back for the start line. You measure 30 meters out, 30 meters, 30 meters, 30 meters, and 50 meters. And that gives you a 4x60 meter or a 300 meter relay race. When we're indoors, actually, it's less than 300. That's a 240. I'm sorry. So a 240 meter relay race. When we're indoors on our 300 meter track indoors, I will run sometimes a 4x75 meter relay where we'll run in lane six, and the layout of a 300 meter track would be we start at the 300 start line. The first exchange is just like the outdoor exchange, still 30 meters, but it's on the end of the curve into the straightaway. The second exchange is at the end of the straightaway going into the curve again, just like outdoor. And then that fourth or third exchange is the same as the outdoor exchange as far as the location and layout. When we're indoors and we run the 4x75 relay, the whole place shuts down. Everybody watches. And it's kind of fun. It also puts that pressure on, and it helps my athletes to get ready for the pressure of a 4x1 because it is high intensity, high pressure, high stakes, because everything can go wrong. And so I love that we do this indoors, and then we also do it outdoors on the outdoor track. But indoors, everybody stops and watches. And it's a lot of fun because you know, when they get smooth handoffs, man, everybody's cheering. The throwers are cheering, the jumpers are cheering. Like it goes crazy in there. So it's a lot of fun. If you have access to a 300-meter facility, I would say this has been the game changer for us. But also outdoors, we'll do a 4x60, and we're still getting max velocity work, but we're also mixing in relay handoffs. Last one I have, 4x4 relay, working on continuous relays and handoffs in a 4x4. We will do, I call it 400 meters the hard way. It's not a true 400 the hard way, but we do 8 50-meter sprints at about 90-95% pace. That's about 400-meter race pace. What we'll do is I'll do a 10-meter run in, and every kid, so really they're running 60s, but every kid runs, we line up line 9 people. There's 2 people at the starting line. The first person runs and starts with the baton. They run to the second person who is about 40 meters out. They make their handoff at about 50 meters. And then the first leg stops and they go back to that start point where the second leg started. Second leg continues on and it goes all the way around. Excuse me, goes all the way around. Every 50 meters, they're making a handoff. When they get back to the start line, that one person who was left there that didn't run, they run, the ninth person runs to, once they get the baton, they run to the first person to run. And every single person runs 8 total reps. So they run an entire lap. By the time the baton gets around, it's about a 1 minute rest. So they're doing 8x50 with 1 minute rest at about 90 to 95% pace. We're able to work relay handoffs in. We're able to run pretty decent 50-meter sprints at 400-meter race pace with minimal rest between, and they're able to get everything in that they need for the workout. The kids love it. If you've got mixed genders in there, like you got 4 or 5 men and 4 or 5 women at a practice, and you want to mix it up, I would recommend, if you're going to run men and women in the same relay part, I would recommend you make the anchors hand off to the person who's a starter. And that way, if they mess up that handoff, it's not as huge a deal because they're not used to handing off or receiving, but they can kind of like fix it and go. And then you're moving into like your first leg handing off to your second handing off to your third handing off to your fourth, and so on. So we do that one a couple times in the year just to kind of mix things up. It's not super taxing on the athletes, but they're able to work on relay handoffs and they have some fun with it.